So here we are at the beginning of 1900 in Lords of the Sierra Madre. First thing, this is a U.S. presidential year. Nobody's got the money or the power to try and run, so nobody's going to make an attempt on this one. The card for the turn is an interesting one. Sonoran Red Flagger Rebellion would allow somebody who owned it to throw it out and get control of all of the military and police, well, all of the federales and policia in Sonora. Doesn't give them the rurales. And it flips them all red, which means they can do violent things. Right now there are none. Nobody's got the money to produce any. It might still be an interesting investment, but I don't really think anybody's got any cash at all right now. If anything, people are at negative money, constantly selling off their horses or in threat of having to take out an IOU to capitalize projects. So I think this one's just going to go away for free. Even though Terrazzo would be interested in it to defend his holdings of those troops. Nothing happened in the winter. Springtime, Slaughter had to take a loan out on the bank. If nothing changes, he's going to go bankrupt. That bank's going to be gone, and he'll just pull out of the game. President Diaz fell ill. The only real effect to that, every single player has gone up 1 in leadership value, which is kind of cool. It allows Hearst is up to a 2 now, which is an awesome rating, and everyone else is at a 1, which means they can lead some troops at least at value. Yeah, it's a cool little effect. I don't know how much it's going to influence things. The Empire Ranch showed up as a card, a valuable investment. It's summertime, so people could have money. We go over, take a look, it's right here. It's still in U.S. territory, which protects it from Terrazzo's influences. So, who could raise money for it? Well, Green wanted to expand his ranch rather than... Right now, it wouldn't make him any money. It would have just thrown a buck to the bank and a buck to Terrazzo because of the railway link. Fall took the cash. He's interested, very interested in the territory, in the new land. Hearst collected cash. He's interested in that, but he's also interested in other things, so he wants to see what might happen. Terrazzo split his. He's got two plantations now. The one he captured, he reinvested money for, but his own home one, he took cash. His intention is to rebuild the rurales here. He thinks they're important, more important than anything else he holds to control. He's not worried about the Empire Ranch. Slaughter disappeared. His bank went bankrupt, and it's just not worth fighting to try to stay alive at that point. And Von Rittelen reinvested his income in order to try to make more money at some later time. He wants to kind of lay under the radar and see if everyone else, maybe with himself included, can beat Terrazzo, and then he'll be in the position as, you know, the major holder in Sonora to actually dominate that area. That's his hope. So now the U.S., the Spanish-American War started. The big effect to that, because nobody's got mines and there's no investor capital, is that all the American players have the option to take the Rough Rider option, see if they get killed, and if not, they go up by 2 in leadership. Every single one of them took it. Green, Fall, and Hearst. That's all that's left. The reason being, without a really good leader at this point, it's really going to be hard to challenge Terrazzo's. It's going to be hard anyway, but this way there'll be a bunch of American leaders with 3s, and Hearst will have a 4 rating, so it's going to be a powerful combination. Continuing into winter of 1901, a mine came up. Mines are really cool, but nobody's got the cash to buy it and capitalize it, and they don't even have that kind of money if they combine. So it's going to probably just end up discarded. In the springtime, a major drought occurs. Big effect on that is, well, one, when the game becomes available to start ending in 1907, there's a +1 to the die roll, which I believe is needed. I think it's 2 dice, you need a 13. But also all of the land values, all of their the profitability of every land piece is just dropped by 1, which kind of means last summer didn't happen. We got to have another one to improve things. That's summer in 1901. The card came out was Wobblies. I'd throw a strike on some sort of enterprise or railroad, and that's pretty much useless to anyone. Everybody just improved their property values. It wasn't anything worth buying. We got the Empire Ranch in activation now, which is kind of cool. In the fall of 1901, the card that came up was the University of Arizona, which is a really cool card for Americans, well, for the Americans who were getting their leadership improved. Any one of them would have loved it, but they're not allowed to bid because they're off at war. And nobody else really was willing to take a dump in terms of their land value to grab this in the hopes of selling it to the U.S. player. So that went away. And nothing else happened, but when the players came back from war, well, we had a couple heroes with green and fall. But Hearst died, and that puts him in a horrible position where he's probably going to be leaving the game soon. Wait, I don't want to play anymore, I'm dead. His heir takes over, and the big problem there is he lost everything except, what is it? I believe C's and gold. So the only thing he holds is his land. And that means that he's badly at risk from the troops and the banditos and all that crap because he no longer has his machine guns, which is the only thing that was protecting him. So chances are that his land's just going to get burned too. We'll see if he can come to some sort of deal, but I doubt it.